Hey guys, Coach Hunter here, coming together with Coach Clint to talk about our next line of defense, which is going to be head movement. Okay, head movement I think is a much better option for defending yourself than just blocking all the time. Although, I mean, I think that's important too. But the nice thing about head movement is that you're not getting hit. You're not getting hit at all, which is awesome. And you're in range to counter, which is always really, really nice. So let's go ahead and run through it, guys, and get into it. And it's something that I think is a bit more difficult than just blocking, because you have to have some anticipation of what's coming at you. You have to have some speed, some reaction time. But when you master this, it's really, really nice. Nothing feels quite as nice as, I think, someone winging a hard hook at your head and you roll it slick and get them back with a nice counter. That's just like, you feel like a real striker at that point. So guys, let's get into it. Starting off, guys, with the slip. So when my opponent goes and throw the jab out there and leave it, throws his jab in my face, okay? I could do a lot of things to defend this, but one we're gonna work on today is moving my head off center line and sitting down, okay? You can see how wide this glove is, right? That's as far as my head needs to move. So you get people at first, when they're working this, they get like big movements where they're really leaning big on side to side, and it's inefficient and gets you way off balance. So instead, guys, I'm gonna sit down into my legs and twist my shoulders. And right there you can see that little shoulder twist one way, sitting down and twisting the other way is gonna bring my head off center line, it's gonna miss. If it might scrape with the side of my head, that's perfect, okay? It doesn't have to miss by a mile or even more than a half a millimeter, right? So he throws the jab, nice slip, okay? One way or the other. Same thing if he throws a cross, one way or the other. It doesn't matter, okay? We don't need to make it miss big. And we also, there's an orthodox kind of concept that we should slip to the outside more often, and it is slightly safer. That is to say, when he throws a jab, I'm slipping to the outside of his punch, so I'm moving away from his other hand, okay? Because his hand has to clear before he can throw his other punch, right? So you can't throw through his own arm. But that is said, it's a small, small difference. And if I'm always slipping to the outside of his jab, he's gonna start reading that and start, catching me to something there, right? So really thinking about mixing that up. So you have to be able to slip both directions, so I don't really worry too much in reality about which way I'm slipping for which punch. Plus, I don't have the kind of reaction time to see a jab, think I gotta slip to my right and slip. That's just not me. So I'm really thinking about just bringing my head off to the side, one way or the other. You notice I'm kind of leaning a little bit forward, and my shoulders and my head are still inside my base, between my hips and my knees. Okay? If I lean to the side too much, now my shoulders are past my hips, outside of my knees, and it's gonna be hard to get back in time to counter. Okay? So, small movement. Okay, he's throwing the jab, or the cross, or just slipping to the side. Okay? Next move we're gonna talk about is the roll. He throws the hook, I'm rolling underneath. Same idea, I'm just sitting down into my legs, twisting toward the punch, and coming back into my normal position. Okay, and usually, on both of these, let me do that again, I'm thinking about my counter coming back. That's one of the reasons my shoulders are turning. And I'm turning toward the punch because I want to make sure I'm crossing underneath it as quickly as possible. If I move too far away, he might find me with that and adjust, right? Give me him a longer time to see what's happening. So I want to go underneath toward it, which is counterinstinctive for most people. The other thing that we're thinking about with rolling is exactly the same, making it as small and compact as possible. Let me throw that hook and pause. I want to be like, it's scraping through the top, across the top of my head, okay? And you see boxers doing it this way sometimes, where they're bowing at the waist, okay? That's fine in boxing because you don't have to worry about knees to the face. You don't have to worry about like kicks to the head, okay? And if you bring your head so low, it kind of makes it awkward to punch down there. I wouldn't advise that in MMA or kickboxing context. So we're really thinking about sitting into our legs, dropping down. My hands are still up, guys. Really important that I'm not dropping my hands when I roll. See people do this a lot because it looks kind of cool and boxery, but it's just no need for it, no reason to do it that way. In case I miss this, if he throws it, I'm like a little too slow, my hands are up, right? Ready to defend myself, so I'm blocking at the same time, okay? My eyes are up, I'm not looking at the floor. Really common mistake when people roll, they kind of look at the floor. Losing sight of him for a second is bad because I need to be able to see what's coming, okay? So I'm always looking at my opponent, eyes are up, looking straight forward. And then next, guys, our pullback movement or fading. Okay, he throws the jab or cross. I'm gonna pull back. Really important. I'm not leaning back with my chin up, where I'm just asking to get knocked out. Okay, you see a lot of us leaning back at first, but I'm like super exposed in the midsection, right? I'm super exposed to my head. So instead I'm sitting into my rear leg. Okay, boom, just kind of crouching into my rear leg, where I'm athletic. Okay, in this position I can fire a nice shot right back. Okay, if I need to, I can take a little step back to my rear foot as well. Okay, but my lead foot stays put so that I'm still in range. Okay, if I move back entirely, great, I didn't get hit, but now I have to come back in at him, which is fine. But he knows that if he can throw a shot at me and I'm always going to run away from him, to run away from that shot, he knows he can make me go away from him, right? Especially if I'm getting in the habit of moving away and back in all the time, he's going to start timing me, faking it back, make me run into that shot. Yeah, exactly, right? So never be predictable. And anytime your opponent can do something where they know we were going to be ahead of time, that's bad, okay? And the opposite is also true. Anytime I can do something I know where my opponent's going to be before they do, that's powerful knowledge. So next thing, guys, is our bobbing or level change. Okay, and it can be done with really any strike to the head. Okay, but he throws something, I'm just going underneath, going straight down. Okay, doesn't be anything he wants, doesn't really matter, right? Just going straight down. What's nice about this is that it's simple, it's fairly universal. Once again, my hands stay up. But it's also nice because in MMA, it mimics the movement for like a shot, for a takedown. So if you're interested in doing MMA, you want to set up your takedowns, establishing this level change as one of your defenses as part of your like movement is helpful, okay? Plus, it's just a nice way of mixing things up and gives you more than one option. It's always good to have more than one option defensively for every strike. So guys, we're just gonna run through those, starting with slipping. And rolling. The pullback. And the bob. So guys, I hope you found that useful. Remember to have to practice. Something people will often do is take a string and put it across the room, like put tape on a string, one wall or the other, and just kind of work on slipping around that string, okay? You can roll underneath it, level change, of course, and you know, the pullback, you have to find something else. But there's lots of options there, okay? Like I said, you know, or another video, have your spouse or your partner or your roommate throw some light punches at you, and you just work on getting around them, blocking if you need to, but doing your head movement. You know, hopefully they'll be fun for them. So guys, like this video, subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see all of our content, and as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you on the mats.